Now recognize Mr. Beer for 5 minutes to summarize his opening statement.
Chairman Green, Ranking Member Thompson, and distinguished members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify. For more than 4 decades, the Cato Institute has produced original research on immigration, showing a freer, more orderly, and more lawful immigration system creates a freer, wealthier, and safer country. We see people as the ultimate resource, that given the freedom to thrive, people, regardless of birthplace, are a benefit to our society. Unfortunately, the U.S. immigration system is so narrow and so backlogged that most people who want to come to this country have no legal way to do so. They have no line. As a result, the U.S. ranks in the bottom third of wealthy countries for its immigrant share of the population. This restrictive system is harming our communities, from the largest cities to the smallest towns. The worker shortage, averaging nearly 10 million open jobs per month, has cost the U.S. nearly $1 trillion in lost productivity in the last year alone. Population decline is eroding tax bases in cities both large and small. Nearly 3/4 of America's counties had more deaths than births in the last year. And U.S. population growth is the lowest it has ever been in our entire history. This restrictive system also causes illegal immigration, which can tear apart communities when employees, employers, and spouses of U.S. citizens are deported. Immigrants are not undermining the safety of U.S. communities, just the opposite. Census Bureau data show that legal and illegal immigrants are half as likely to end up behind bars as U.S.-born residents. During the 1990s, when the immigrant population grew faster than it had at any point in over a century, crime fell rapidly. It fell faster and further in immigrant-dense communities. About 350,000 immigrants serve in protective occupations as police officers, detectives, and private security. Immigrants work with police to solve crimes. About 315,000 immigrants right now are awaiting status based on their cooperation with local investigations. And there are countless examples of U.S. communities turned around by the economic revitalization brought by immigrants. Immigrants increase state and local tax revenues by over $250 billion per year, more resources to keep communities safe. The committee is right to investigate the scourge of fentanyl deaths, but immigrants are not the cause. Fentanyl is overwhelmingly smuggled through ports of entry, largely by U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens accounted for 86% of convicted fentanyl traffickers in 2021. Despite arresting over 700,000 illegal entrants so far this year, less than 1% of CBP's fentanyl seizures have come from people carrying it across the border illegally. The restrictions on trade and travel that started in 2020 have only exacerbated the problem. Because fentanyl is 50 times more potent than heroin, it can supply the same market with far fewer trips. So with fewer trips and more scrutiny in 2020 and 2021, traffickers switched from heroin to fentanyl, and fentanyl deaths doubled. Border policies have failed victims by making drugs more potent and deadly. Congress should focus on helping drug users, not banning immigrants. The crackdown on asylum under Title 42 has also failed to secure the border. Now that requesting asylum is no longer an option, evasion of Border Patrol has increased 5-fold from 2019 to 2023, forcing immigrants to cross in more remote, more rural areas of the border has led to more suffering and death, which is straining rural hospitals. We have seen repeatedly that closing off legal options to immigrate creates illegal immigration, while opening them up reduces it. The administration's new parole sponsorship programs for Cubans, Haitians, Venezuelans, and Nicaraguans are already working to reduce illegal migration by those populations by over 90%. These programs empower ordinary Americans in every community to help fix the border. Congress should work with them. Thank you.